What is going on, my freaky friends? It's your friend King Julian today with yet another very special video. I have the absolute pleasure to introduce the beautiful Honda NT1100 DCT version, which I'll be testing for a week from now. I'm very excited about this. I wanted to get my hands on this bike forever. Can't wait to take it for a spin and report to you from the saddle. Now, before we do that, let's identify what this bike has to offer at first glance. As you can see, there are two 310mm discs in front with 4-piston calipers, radial mounted. The brakes are by Nissin, and in the rear we can see the rear brake with a single 256mm disc. The suspension on this beauty is by Showa. In front we have Showa separate function fork, big piston, upside down of course. Is it adjustable? Yes it is. Adjustable for preload. And in the back we have of course a single shock, also adjustable for preload. Now, what else can we identify at first glance? Adjustable brake lever here on the right side, and no clutch lever on the left side. Also, no shifter on the left side, because as I said, this bike actually comes with the dual clutch transmission, which is basically an automatic transmission designed by Honda. This bike has been actually built on the same basis as the Africa Twin, which means the frame is identical and this engine is also identical. It's a parallel twin with 1084 cc, which produces maximum power of around 100.5 horses at 7,500 rpm and maximum torque of 104 newton meters at 6,250 rpm. What probably differs from the Africa Twin in terms of engine is its tuning, because this one is intended definitely for on-road adventures. Other than that, we can see there's this very comfortable, spacious, wide and long rider seat, and a pillion seat which seems very comfortable as well and very spacious. Plus we have two side panniers, and up here we have a top case, so a lot of storage room for traveling. Very nice. Let's see what we've got here. A beautiful 6.5-inch TFT display. We've seen it before with Africa Twin, and a very similar display has been now adopted also with the middleweights such as the new Hornet and the new Transalp. Looks great. Took some time to load, but everything fine. And other than that, we have this little LCD dash which shows us some basic data. As you can see, the bike comes with a full LED lighting system, which is pretty much a standard nowadays. And now I think that's it for the mandatory technical talk. Let's hear how this baby sounds. Sounds very good. Whew. And let's hop on it now and hit the road. How about that? I had to use the foot pegs to get on the bike because of the panniers. I just didn't want to kick them. But other than that, this bike really sits low. The seat height is 820mm, I think. That's lower than a CBR basically. It sits really low, but you don't have that impression from the saddle. I mean, you can reach the ground with your feet flat, no problemo, but it's just so massive that somehow I feel like I'm sitting in a bus and I have this perfect view over everything that's happening on the road in front of me. Okay, let's go for it. Haha. The turn signal switches off automatically. I have the bike in the standard drive mode, which means the DCT is trying to maintain revs as low as possible, which is very good for fuel consumption. You have 20.5 liter tank, and the average fuel consumption in the standard drive mode should be 5 liters per 100 kilometers. So you should be able to do 400 kilometers on one full tank, which is very nice. Okay, so far so good. The suspension is doing a great job. I'll maybe try and play with the settings a little bit, but even if I did nothing, it would be great. It sits on the road perfectly. I can barely feel any imperfection, and this road is imperfect. So far, really nice. And the bike looks very nice. Actually, Honda was promising that this bike would be great for traveling, while at the same time you can also have sporty fun. I don't know. Let's see about that. I think that's quite a bold statement, really, because so far it doesn't seem very sporty to me. It feels a little heavy in turns, of course, because it is a heavy bike. It weighs 248 kilos in DCT version, 10 kilos less in the manual one. So the bike doesn't seem to me like something I would call sports oriented. But again, these are the first moments, my first impressions. Maybe I'll change my mind in course of next week. Man, the DCT is really something. The bike is rattling, at least in the standard drive mode. It's probably not my favorite. I understand that it is probably very efficient in terms of fuel consumption, but the whole thing is rattling and constantly, like, I don't know, calculating, switching something. It feels a bit strange, to be honest. But let's see, because other than the drive mode, we also do have the possibility to engage S, which is sport shifting. And in case you're completely tired of it, you have here a switch between automatic and manual. So I'll do that, switch to manual. Now I see I have third gear engaged, and here on the left hand side I have two buttons, one plus over here in the front and one minus here, which I can use to shift manually. Okay, here's the motorway, and we have a windy day today, which is good for the sake of this test. Wow, this is really very comfortable. Oh, and the sports shifting. Okay, that's a different story. It really lets you rev it up quite a bit before it shifts. But the wind protection, let's talk about the wind protection. I cannot feel any wind whatsoever on my helmet. I cannot feel any wind whatsoever on my fingers. I can barely feel anything on my legs, actually. Nothing on the knees. A bit of wind blast on the ankles, but other than that, this massive tank is doing a job perfectly in terms of wind protection. Oh, nice. And I can feel a little bit of something on my shoulders, but I would compare it to driving in a car and opening one window to let some air in. That's it. This is extremely efficient. Oh, and we have cruise control. Let's engage it. Perfect. Oh god, this will be so much fun. Let's talk about the electronics package a little bit, because I think I've only covered the LED system and the TFT dash. This bike has riding modes, of course, so it adjusts. The throttle is electronic. Wow, this is really good. So we have 3 standard riding modes: rain, urban and tour. Now, depending on the mode you've selected, the bike adjusts its power, engine braking and traction control. Other than that, you have 2 user modes where you can customize the setting and the behavior of the engine depending on your preference. Nice. Now we're testing the suspension, by the way, because this road is the worst, but it's again doing a great job. And now back to the electronics. So we have 5 modes in total, plus we have the 3 levels of sport shifting versus the standard shifting, but that's not where the electronic package ends. Of course, this bike has ABS. As standard, it comes with heated grips. Are you kidding me? This is actually beautiful. Like, the standard setting of this bike is the 2 side panniers, heated grips, center stand, power plugs, 12 volts on the left hand side and USB on the right hand side. Jesus Christ, Honda, what are you doing? This is great. Alright, my freaky friends, I think I've said more than enough. My first impressions are, I'm in love with this motorcycle. It's absolutely wonderful. I can't wait to travel with it and my charming pillion. So far I can confirm the wind protection is amazing. The electronics package is really outstanding on this baby. The comfort, incredible, really. I love the seat, I love my position in the foot pegs and on the bike as such, the handlebars, everything. It feels really, really comfortable. What I wouldn't say is that this bike is sports oriented. It looks that way with the fairing, the front mask and everything. It really, really looks sporty and sharp. But it feels a little bit heavy in turns. You can definitely feel the weight of the bike. Anyway, that's it for today, my freaky friends. Hope you enjoyed this ride as much as I did. Please do let me know by clicking that like button. If you like my content as such and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Support the channel. Thank you so much, guys. Please take good care of yourselves, your loved ones. Ride safe, be safe, stay safe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Cheers, bye bye.